Behold, e-reader loyalists, we have here today a comparison video for y'all. And of course, you're listening to me, the Sultan of Suave, the king of e-readers, Michael Kozlowski.
And just Peter here, apparently.
Alright, so we have the Kindle Paperwhite 3
right here
versus the Kobo Glo HD.
Yes, these are two of the latest devices from the respective companies.
Alright, so what my impression is right off the bat is the Glo HD came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was considered a very affordable competitor to the Kindle Voyage.
Yeah, the Voyage killer, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. It has the same resolution as the Voyage at like a fraction of the price, and Amazon knew that. So really what they did is they did a reissue of the Kindle Paperwhite 2, but using the same type of screen as the Voyage.
Yeah.
So now you have two e-readers that are competing against each other head to head with the exact same specs, but it comes down to it that specs aren't always the most important thing.
It comes down to real world usage and how it performs.
Right, so in the description of this video is the full review to both of the reviews that we did covering these. So if you want to get a sense of like the specs, the hardware, the features, and everything like that, I'm not going to bore you to death by listing off a myriad of specs here. Really what we're going to do is to show you the hardware differences and then show you how these two e-readers compare reading the standard ebook and a PDF file.
Exactly. You already noticed that this one is a smaller build, but that doesn't mean the screen is any smaller. Although it kind of looks smaller, it isn't, just because of the wide bezel. This is 6-inch screen. They're both 6-inch screens. The back, I like and hate the back at the exact same time. It's this perforated rubber hard plastic, but it shows a lot of fingerprints and a lot of oils. And
it's easy to grip, but it gets dirty hella fast.
And sometimes things get caught in there and like you can't get them out. And you see the Rakuten logo on the bottom because Kobo had gotten purchased by Rakuten. You have power button on the top, nothing on either of the two sides, and you have a micro USB and status indicator light on the bottom. And on the Kindle Paperwhite 3, nothing on the sides or the top. All the fun stuff's happening down below here. 3.5 mil. Why would I say that? That's how bad I want audio on my e-reader. Micro USB, status indicator light, and power button on this device. Now, very interesting to mention that this is $129. This is $139. So this is actually more expensive than the Kobo Glo. And the Voyage is actually $200 American. So Kobo's in a good place right now with its price point and technology.
Alright, so we have a book loaded up here. It's not the same book because it's Kobo and Amazon ecosystem.
They deal with two different bookstores.
We try to get it like as close as we can in terms
of
like
use different fonts and line spacing, so there's no way to match them.
Just to show you how difficult it is with Kobo, it's like you have these sliders which are virtually like millions of combinations.
Yes, whereas on Amazon you have 8 different font settings and a couple different size options and only 3 of each of the margins and line spacing, whereas Kobo has slider bars, so there's just so much to choose. Oh look, they do have Sicilia. You can match that at least.
Yeah. So the one thing about Kobo that I like is that if you're not happy with the sheer amount of default fonts you have, you can load in your own fonts.
That's cool.
So anything that you're a fan of, you can just straight up download it from the internet.
So, Mike, what do you think just looking at these two guys?
Kobo looks better.
I think so, actually, yeah. Even though this is using the exact same screen on the Voyage, which is the direct competitor for this device, I do think the Kobo looks better as well.
Having them side by side is almost seeming like the Kobo, the back of the screen
is more white, isn't it?
It's a clear defined like e-paper white.
This is definitely darker. Like if you forget the letters, if you look at the actual white space here, or the white space, that is far more dark than the Kobo. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I do think that helps give the illusion that the text is a bit bigger, but if we jack up like the size of the font, that could probably give us like a better indication.
Let's do it. So that's this even goes bigger on the fonts too. I think so. Look at that. Are you looking? Look at it. Way better.
Yeah.
And the fonts go bigger, and if you look at the roundness of all the letters, they both look pretty good. So if you look at our other videos like versus the Kindle Paperwhite 2 or the Kindle Basic, you'll see that on all the curved letters it starts to look a little blocky and pixelated, but these both are really crisp. I like that word, crisp.
Word. You know, some people like watching defrags. I like watching things like this.
Oh, did that just start? Oh, awesome.
Software updates
Off
for
camera.
Kindles. Yeah.
Do not turn off your Kindle.
All right, so enough of that.
It's kind of like don't press the red button, and you really want to press the red button. Not only do e-readers read books because, well, they're e-readers, they do PDFs too. PDF is one of the most common formats out there. It's one of the most universal formats. These devices can handle them. So
when we loaded this up off camera, the Kindle Paperwhite 3 instantly
quicker.
loaded it. Took about like a 5-6 second delay on the Kobo, and you could see even like the picture of like this like evil abomination guy. It's way more clearly defined on the Kobo than it is on the Kindle.
By default, the contrast is pre-adjusted on the Kobo. I'm not sure why, but on the Kindle, what we can do is wait for that to load, go here, and we can make it a little bit lighter so we can kind of match it. So Kindle by default starts off really dark, and even
which helps with text.
It does, yeah, it really does. But we'll see that even if we change it to lighter, the Kobo just has more detail.
Yeah.
Because the darks just kind of blur all together, and I've turned the darkness down quite a bit, but the Kobo is much more defined, much more crisp. Something the Kobo doesn't have, though, is the following. Oh, wow, following. Oh, that's weird. They don't have long press. So you actually can't make notes, highlights, annotations, or even translations to Chinese, Japanese, anything on the Kobo. So you can do all this on the Amazon Kindle because all of the Kindle features on an ebook carry over into the PDF experience.
So, long story short, the Kindle Paperwhite 3 loads PDFs, especially large ones, faster, and it lets you make highlights and annotations to words, but I feel that the Kobo gives you a superior reading experience once the PDF file is actually loaded up in terms of details, because a lot of PDFs, it's image heavy or CSS layout heavy. So if that matters to you, Kobo is a better buy. And I mean, that pretty well sums up like the video that we're doing here today, is that I think that the Kobo is the better buy. It's more affordable than the Paperwhite 3, and I think that it did a better job reading ebooks. The text is clearer and more defined in not just ebooks but PDF files as well.
Right.
But, you know, that being said, ebooks and stuff like that isn't everything. Sometimes you want to read in the dark.
Yes.
Something these two e-readers do really well.
This is a prime example of warm light and cool light. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to like a hardware store and bought some light bulbs. They'll say like cool white or warm or what have you. Look at this right here. On the left, where my pen is pointing, this is the Kobo Glo HD. This has a lot more reds and browns in the backlight. It is more warm. This one has more blues and whites. This is more cool. So neither of them are terrible by any means. Neither of them are bad. They're just different. They both illuminate perfectly edge to edge, corner to corner. Very even light distribution, which you don't see a lot. We always see lots of black zones. The Barnes & Noble Nook had tears in it and puffing and couldn't even see the dang thing, but this is actually really nice. And let's do some different light levels, shall we? Oh, it's getting real dark in here.
Spooky.
Oh, a ghost.
I have to turn out my Donald Duck nightlight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you can see the different light levels. Once you get really dark, it becomes unreadable. Obviously, you want to keep it at a respectable level. That's the point of the backlight, to read in the dark. You don't want it off. Having a backlight on doesn't completely change the battery life. It does a little bit, but not as much as a LCD screen.
Yeah, you could pretty well keep the front light always on if you wanted to, and it wouldn't like dramatically decrease the battery life.
Which is funny because you can't turn the glow light off on the Kindle. It is always even a slightest glimmer on, you'll notice. You can never really truly turn it off, whereas the Kobo you can.
Yeah, so it's just cool or warm. You know, it
Absolutely.
pretty well is like up to you in terms of, do you read in low light conditions more than you do like during the day or in direct sunlight?
Then it would matter.
Yeah, then this would matter, but we wanted to show you this just to give you a sense of what both of these bring to the table. In the end, I feel that the Kobo Glo HD is the better buy.
That's what it comes down to. As much as things we show you, it comes down to which one do you want to buy the most. It's not which one you think is cooler, it's which one do you want to actually go to the store and spend money on.
Yeah, I mean, we live and breathe e-readers.
Yeah.
Ever since like the original Kindle came out in 2007, I mean, that was our first e-reader. And I mean, we've reviewed almost every single major e-reader in the world since then. I mean, like 80 to 100 different devices over the years that we've just reviewed in the studio, not counting the ones that we've seen at trade shows
on
like
location,
CES or like in Taiwan or like in Germany for IFA. I mean, we've seen and reviewed a hell of a lot of devices, and we can honestly say that with these two side by side, Glo HD better buy, more detail on PDF files. The standard ebook experience is really solid, and it has a lot of advanced features that allow you to load in fonts, that allows you to customize like weight and like all this like different stuff. So the
and
Kobo,
remember, it's handling EPUB too, which is a much more common ebook format than AZW and MOBI.
Totally. You have, if you want to like download like torrents or whatever, like the Kobo will give you a better reading experience than say like the Kindle, which the Kindle format it's still not easily found.
Right. This is $100 cheaper Canadian than the Kindle Voyage, and it runs the exact same resolution, and it's about the same build size, and it's $10 cheaper than this. So the Kobo comes out ahead in so many ways. I mean, it's almost like, why wouldn't you choose it?
Exactly. So you heard our thoughts. Let's hear yours. Drop a comment below on this video for Good e-Reader and a review of the Kobo Glo HD versus the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite 3. My name is Michael.
My name's Peter.
See you later, folks.